I thought it might be a good idea to sort of everyone say hello to each other, if at all possible. Um, it is kind of weird looking at everyone's name and everyone's muted. That we don't want to have classes like that, do we? We all want to speak
Well,
up.
I just wanted to say, sometimes if people aren't, so if you're not talking, I don't know what your experience with Zoom is, but so if you're not talking and you have your mute off, then sometimes there's an echo.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, usually they have us mute unless we're talking.
Okay, fair enough. But I figured we just go around and introduce ourselves and just sort of say what you kind of like what you'd like to get out of the class. I'll start. So my name's James LeBlanc. You probably, hopefully know that by now. And this is my first term teaching 410. I usually teach 210. But don't worry, I sort of have a background in health sciences my own self, because basically the last job I had before coming here, I was in the medical school at UCLA for 10 years in the pathology department. So if you have some health science questions, I may be able to help you out with them. And I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody. So who would like to go next?
I'll go. Hi, my name's Ruby.
Hey, Ruby.
What I'm trying to get out of this class is because I know it's going to be a really challenging one for me. And so I would love to get a passing grade out of the class, but I would also, I did not take any kind of chemistry or anything in high school, and so this is all new to me. And
how did you avoid that?
Well, I tested out early. Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, the way that I was able to do that, they no longer allow here in the state. So, because it was actually, honestly, it was kind of easy to do, and they probably shouldn't do that.
So where did you come from?
I'm a native. I'm a Bay Area native. I was born in Petaluma, and I've lived here my whole life. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, thanks, Ruby. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
By Ariana Grande, sure. Playing on Apple Music.
Someone's playing Ariana Grande. Very nice. So who do we have next?
It might be the internet.
Oh, yeah, it might be kind of tricky.
It's a little unstable today because of the wind.
Okay, why don't I just call on folks? That might be the easiest. Kirk, you want to say hello?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yep.
Oh, hello, my name is Kirk Pingle, and I'm taking this class as a prereq into the healthcare field. And one thing I'm looking forward to is basically just learning a little bit more or a lot more about obviously science, chemistry. So I've had a tough time taking this class in high school, and looking forward to taking it now in college and try to grasp some of the concepts and apply it to the real world.
Yeah, ask lots of questions. So that's what I would recommend for everybody. Just because, yeah, it's especially tricky with because we're remote like this. I mean, I really don't dig it, and I'm sure you guys don't either. But ask lots and lots of questions, and come to office hours. So
Okay.
Thanks, Kirk. Mark Davis, how are you doing?
I'm okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. I'm going back to school just because I need to get a different job once this COVID stuff is here. Eventually, I'd like to work at the VA in some capacity.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I'm also super ultra paranoid. I think I'm actually in the other lab section, but I wanted to be here just in case because it said if you don't show up to the first lab, they'll kick you out of the class. So I'm just...
Sounds harsh.
Yeah. So I'm trying to check all the boxes, and I figured if I just doing it twice for just 1 week.
So what is it you want to do at the VA, Mark?
Eventual plan is radiology, I suppose.
Oh, cool. Okay, excellent. All right, Andy.
Oh, I forgot. I'm majoring. I'm just finishing my general education, but I'm planning to apply to the anesthesia technology technique program.
Very cool. Okay, a gas passer. We all need one of those. Andy.
Hey, my name is Andy. I'm taking this class because I need it for my major, and as well I'm doing my major is going to be radiology as well. And chemistry is not really like my forte, but I'm going to try my best to pass the class.
Yeah, well, chemistry is very few people's forte, but we want you to be comfortable with it and be knowledgeable about it. I'm sure you'll have that by the end of it. Anna Santos, you're with us here.
Hi,
There
my
you are.
name's Anna Kristen. I'm an allied health major, and I look forward to gaining more knowledge on science and chemistry since I've never really taken a chemistry class.
Man, I'm hearing this more frequently. Okay, well, we'll do the best we can, and again, ask
I'm not
lots
the
of
only
questions.
one.
No, definitely not. Ariane or Ariana?
Ariane.
Okay.
But you could just say Ari for short because
Okay.
it's kind of hard. So my name's Ariane or Ari. This is my first year at Skyline College, so everything's new. I'm excited to take this class because it's been a while since I've taken chemistry, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to major in respiratory therapy, and yeah.
Yeah, perfect thing to be majoring in right now, respiratory therapy, I would say. Excellent. Brandon.
Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm a high school student in the middle college program.
Oh, cool. Which high school are you at? I volunteered, taught in high schools for a while.
I come from Mills High School in Millbrae,
Oh, okay.
and I'm planning on majoring in something in the healthcare field. I'm not sure just yet what I want to do.
Yeah, you got lots of time to work that out. Welcome aboard. Let's see Christian.
Hello, my name is Christian de la Cuesta. I'm in this class for a prerequisite for nursing, and I'm also looking forward to actually a chemistry lab because I just like doing stuff on my hand and actually see the refrigeration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but a lot of
But-
people learn better. A lot of people learn better when they actually can feel
to
it, taste
touch,
it,
yeah.
touch it. Yeah, I mean last term, my class was basically stuck doing everything virtually online, and that was just like, I mean, it was okay, but you don't get to blow anything up, and what's the point of that? So, yeah, hopefully we'll all have a little bit more fun that way. Minami or Minami.
Yeah,
Minami?
Minami. Yeah, Minami. Yeah. So my name is Minami, and my major is, I think for now, kinesiology.
Oh, cool.
And then I'm looking forward to taking this class since I haven't taken chem for a while now.
How many years has it been? Is that a bad question?
High school, so a couple of years.
Okay. Yeah, don't ask me when's the last time I took chemistry in high school. It's been a while. Sadie.
Hi, I'm Sadie, and I am a pre-nursing major, so I'm taking this as a prerequisite so I can transfer soon. And I'm just excited to get more comfortable with chemistry because I'm more of a biology person, so chemistry has been a little hard for me, but I'm excited to get more comfortable.
Well, I'm a biochemist, so I think they're both equally interesting. So yeah, but yeah, the more we learn about chemistry, I think the easier some of the stuff in biology is, especially like DNA and proteins and all that kind of stuff make a lot more sense once you've taken this class. I hope. Riley, are you with us?
Yes. Hi everyone. My name is Riley. This is also my first chem class. I am taking this for my nursing prerequisite, and I'm hoping to learn as much as I can and get super comfortable with it.
Not just comfortable, super comfortable. I think that's an awesome goal. All right, thanks, Riley. Sophia.
Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm taking this course as a prerequisite for nursing school. I'm super nervous about taking this course. It's my first chemistry course. But yeah, I'm excited to learn more about chemistry.
So you're going to be going into nursing, you said?
Yes.
Any particular branch you're thinking of?
I'm not too sure yet. I'm still deciding.
It's early. It's early. All
Yes.
right. Thanks, Sophia.
Yep.
Megan.
Hi, could you hear me?
Yep.
So my name is Megan. It's my first year of college, and I'm taking this class as a prereq for nurse as well. And I'm looking forward for a better understanding of chemistry because it was kind of hard in high school.
Okay. Well, we're here to help. That's the whole point. All right. Thanks, Megan. Cassandra, how are you doing?
Hi, my name's Cassandra, and I'm also a nursing major. And yeah, I'm taking this as a prerequisite. And I'm most excited to do the lab portion of this class and also just learn about chemistry because it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's the background to every little mystery there is.
You got to love that attitude. I mean, what I would always tell my class is if the physics is the study of forces and biology is the study of life, and then chemistry is the study of matter, which is everything. So I think, we sort of win out there. So excellent. Lovely. You got to love that name. Lovely.
Everyone's
How are
been
you?
saying that. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, so my name is Lovely. I'm taking nursing major as well. And I'm taking this class as a prereq. And I'm kind of nervous because I took this class and I was in the Philippines still. So I think we have different different things. I think we have just the minor labs in there. So I'm kind of nervous because I know it's a big difference. So I need to adjust still. And it's been 3 years ago since I last took chemistry. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I know.
I haven't taken it at all, so I think you're
Oh man,
one step ahead of us.
I mean,
3 years is 3 years is nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to learn more, because I only took a few labs in there, so I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot of labs in here. So yeah.
We will have a lot of labs.
I
That's
know.
kind of the whole point. All right, Caitlin, we haven't heard from you yet, I don't think.
Hi. So I am a nursing major as well, but a little bit about myself. So I actually went to the aesthetics program through Skyline. So I got my esthetician license 2018. And then I kind of realized I want to get into nursing, but I want to get kind of more, I guess, on the superficial side. So think of cosmetic nurse. I want to do injections and Botox, PRP treatments and stuff like that.
Man, you should be down in Los Angeles where I live. They just love Botox down there.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to do that, but if I don't go the cosmetic route, I would love to work in oncology.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I think probably the last time I took a chemistry, my freshman year, of high school, which was 10 years ago. Yeah, it's been a long time.
You're
But
really going to need some chemistry for oncology. You want to be real careful with those drugs. Those are pretty dangerous
the IV
stuff.
drip. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm excited because I was looking at the kit and I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of in middle school and stuff when we watch the Bill Nye videos. So there's stuff to do. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think it will be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I wouldn't pick up my box. I was just so excited all the stuff in there. Start playing with it. So, Mark, have we heard from you already? Mark Davis. Hello, Mark. Maybe he went outside. Anyway, so yeah, how many people have picked up their kit already? Is there anyone who has not? Because again, the first few things I was going to talk about is like how to pick them up, but if everyone already has, we can sort of skip past that.
I'm actually picking it up tomorrow.
Okay.
Me
okay.
too.
Cool. All right. So what I'll do is then sort of share what we were going to do today.
I have a question, Professor.
Sure.
I was under the impression that we were going to do a pre-lab quiz today for class, or for chapter one.
Yeah. I believe you can. Well, I have the assignments here. You can do it after. You can take the because since we won't actually be doing a lab today, getting all that out of the way is it's for next week. Let me switch this around.
So is the lab that so the one for so the lab that we're doing next week, is it the measurement and uncertainty lab, or something different?
It'll be that one. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So so that was basically that's like the last thing I was going to do is basically tell you about the assignments that are upcoming. First was just if there were anyone who hasn't picked up the lab, I was just going to sort of briefly go through how to do that. But it sounds like pretty much everybody has, and we've already gotten to know everyone. We're all the best of friends, and then I believe there's like a 30-minute safety video, but I am not going to sit here and force you to sit and watch a 30-minute safety video with everybody else. I have a much shorter one. The longer one is online on the Canvas shell, and so I recommend sort of skimming through that, because there may be some questions in the safety quiz that aren't addressed in the particular sort of shorter one that I'm going to show you. And there's some things to think about as far as safety goes, because usually when we're doing a lab, we're in a lab, which is set up for that sort of thing, where there's an eye wash station and there's a shower and there's like a fire blanket and there's all this stuff that's there, fire extinguishers. And I'm betting that not many of you have a fire blanket in your house or an eye wash station. So there's certain things that we need to think about, that we need to plan out before we begin. So I was going to speak a little bit on that too. And then finally, we'll talk about the assignments. All right, so if you haven't already scheduled your pickup time, I think there's only like 2 days left. Tomorrow afternoon, all the way up to 6 o'clock. And then on Thursday between 10 and 4. And I think that's about it. And if you can't get out for some reason, I know one of my colleagues recently came into contact with someone who was COVID positive. And so basically she's stuck in her house for 2 weeks now and needs someone to come and pick up her kit and deliver it to her. If you're in a situation like that, just reach out, and someone can pick it up under your name and come and just drop it off on your doorstep. So don't feel that, if you're stuck in your house, and let's face it, we're all pretty sick about being stuck in your house. If you're, in that situation, you can still get the kit through somebody else. So you need an ID, student ID, or a driver's license for pretty much anything that has your picture on it, because they need to know who's going in and out. Wear a mask, of course, and you don't even have to get out of your car. You'll drive in, they'll basically check your name, you tell them you're going to building 7, drive over to building 7, pop the trunk, and they'll just slip it in for you, or put it in the back seat, whatever you need. So to get in, I found this the hard way. I tried to come in through the regular through College Drive, and that didn't work because that's all shut down. You have to go all the way around to Skyline Boulevard and then go up and through, and then you go into where this little building right here. Let me see if I can get right here. So this building here, and then drive up to building 7, which you cannot see because I picked a bad color. So building 7 up here, and that's where you will pick up
Professor, we cannot see your screen.
Really?
We can't see what you're referring to, right?
I can see it.
I can see it.
Oh,
It too.
oh.
It's
Maybe
good.
it's just me then. I don't
Oh.
know why.
Okay. So yeah, just go in through the Skyline Boulevard, basically the east entrance, and go through that way. If you have any questions, well, you can contact me or John, or who you should contact is Musa Ganma. He's the chemistry lab coordinator. He gets everything ready. He's an incredibly valuable person. Here's his email here, or contact the bookstore. And remember, it's like $5. And if you don't bring it back, I think it's like 50. So at the end of the term, you definitely want to return everything, because it's only $5. Yes, question.
Whose email were you just talking about? I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't see, but whose email you said? Here's his email.
Oh, I will put it in the chat.
Thank you. I don't know what's wrong with my thing.
Oh, Caitlin, thank you. Yeah, it's already there. Yeah, Caitlin already put it in there. Yeah, that's
great.
Musa's email address. And
who's that?
He's the lab coordinator for chemistry. He sets up all of the labs. So he basically knows everything about the lab situation. He was the one who ordered all the kits and is coordinating everything. So he'll be able to straighten any problems you might have concerning the lab kits. Okay. So here is the brief video, hopefully, which will play. Oops. No. Let me try something different. Here we go. Can everyone hear this?
It's kind of glitchy. Well, I can't hear it, but the video looks choppy.
So people can't hear it? Or you can hear it?
I can't hear it.
No,
Okay.
I cannot hear it.
Okay.
Professor, I have a tip. If you go up to the top, I think.
Yeah, there's like the settings for save.
Yeah, it says share. There's an option to share your computer audio, and then we should be able to hear it if you do that.
Usually don't have this problem.
So like up at the top, there's a place.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Share computer sound. Okay, here we go. Usually that's checked already. All right, let's.
Took a week to prepare a sample for NMR analysis, and then a classmate washed out the vials while I was sleeping for the first time in 3 days because he couldn't find anything else to use for his experiment. Interestingly, that resulted in my personal most significant laboratory injury. We all have one. I cut my hand while punching a paper towel dispenser in frustration. No one ever brought it up again. Today, we're going to talk about how to avoid injury in the lab and some good techniques for using laboratory equipment correctly. First two lessons already learned: never wash out a vial you aren't familiar with, and don't punch paper towel dispensers. Let's start with some very basic safety stuff. Your hair. If your hair is long, it shall always be up in the lab. If it is not, it will catch on fire. I've seen it happen. It can also knock stuff over and occlude your vision and droop into your flask. Same thing goes for anything that might hang off your body in the lab. Droopy clothing, especially sleeves, are a total disaster. Clothes should cover your body as much as possible. I like to go long sleeve even. Never, ever, 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 ever wear sandals in a lab. Long pants, closed-toed shoes, and socks. Clothing that covers your entire torso. Always. I'm sure you look hunky in your muscle shirt, and I have nothing against exposed midriffs in principle, but not in the lab. Of course, your eyes are your most vulnerable organ. Always wear eye protection, and no, just glasses do not count. And if you feel like your eyes are starting to tingle or hurt, or even if you don't know how something might have gotten in there, use the eye wash, because it never hurts to be careful, and you know, we've all wondered what it feels like. I've actually never done this, so this will be a new experience for me. It does not feel particularly pleasant. But it's better than having your eyes burned out. Do not eat or drink in the lab. Despite our best efforts, stuff does sometimes get where we don't want it to be. And if it gets in your food or you accidentally pick up the wrong cup, that's just a really embarrassing story for your obituary. Also, I would generally suggest avoiding working alone in a lab, especially if you're working with any machinery or hazardous substances. But it will be up to you and your advisors to make that decision when the time comes. You may have seen this little symbol before here. It's the hazardous materials or hazmat diamond, and it's got some useful information in it. Each little box is rated 0 to 4, 0 being no big deal, and 4 being
holy monkey, be careful.
Blue is for health, the red is for flammability, and yellow is for chemical reactivity. A 4 in health means certain kinds of exposure will kill you. A 4 in fire is both very flammable and gaseous, so impossible to control outside of a closed container. And a 4 in reactivity means that it is capable of exploding at room temperature. The little area underneath is for any extra information, like if it's radioactive or reacts violently with water or something. If you ever need to know more about a chemical and what it might do to you or to the world, there's the good old MSDS, the Material Safety Data Sheet. Every chemical has one, and it'll tell you all the terrible things that it might do to you. If you ever need to find one really fast, you don't need to go to the cabinet anymore. You can just Google MSDS HCl or whatever chemical you think is in the process of killing your friend. There will be information on how best to treat the person who got exposed. Of course, you should have always read the MSDS before you even touch a chemical. Also, you should probably assume that every liquid in a lab that is not water is flammable. This baby here is a fume hood. It sucks all the air in there out so you don't have to breathe whatever's going on in there. It's also why it's impossible to keep chemistry labs at the proper temperature, because the AC units and heating units are constantly pumping in controlled air, and these are constantly sucking it out. So if you're doing some chemistry that might contain some noxious fumes, that goes on in here. And if you want it to work properly, first you got to turn it on. That's the vent. That's the blower. Now it is sucking air. Second thing you want to do is make sure the sash is at the right level. This has a little thing that tells you where the sash is supposed to go. If you go above that, on this model, it'll buzz at you. If the sash is higher than that, it's not going to properly vent all the stuff to the outside, and some of it might get into your face, and that would be bad. As a side note here, if something happens to you in the lab, and if you don't know whether it was serious or minor, you're not sure, just tell your instructor. I once inhaled a bit of nitric oxide, which, though initially extremely unpleasant, seems to subside after a while, but it can have longer-term effects. Headache, nausea, disorientation, dizziness, pulmonary edema, death. So I'm glad I fessed up so that I could get taken care of. Speaking of, if you want to know what something smells like, do not stick your face in it. Waft waft it toward your face. Also, never test something by tasting it, obviously, and never pipette by mouth. I hear people say that, and like, who would? But then I just found out that Heiko, the chemistry consultant for Crash Course, has twice gotten HCl in his mouth from pipetting by mouth, which I will never forgive you for. That is what these things are for. You put that on the end there, and then you go on, you draw the liquid up with this thing. That's what that's for. Also, these days, most pipetting is done by these guys, which are way cooler anyway. Pipetting is one way to move a substance from one container to another, and it's a pretty good one. But if you want to pour, you can pour. But let me just give you a tip. Commit. We tend to get all nervous when pouring stuff in the chemistry lab and go all slow with it, but that's terrible. You won't overcome the surface tension, and it'll dribble down the side of the container, so just commit at the beginning and at the end. Destroy that surface tension. Okay, back to safety. The most common lab injuries are cuts and punctures, and the most common source of those is cleaning up broken glass, which you should not do with your hands, but with a broom and a dustpan, and then deposit the results into a bin specifically for sharp stuff. But the worst thing, and it has happened so many times and it is so terrible, is forcing a glass rod or a thermometer or a piece of tubing through a stopper, and then it breaks, and then right into and through your hand, and you're in the hospital and you're in pain for the rest of your life probably. So when you're doing this, and it is sometimes necessary, you can use a bit of water or a lubricant or some kind of Vaseline to make it easier to go through, and then you hold it close and make sure your hand is not on the other side. So very close and make it go through like that. Not like this, because that's, no. When you're done with an experiment, do not just dump the results into the sink unless this has been explicitly approved by the person in charge of chemical safety. For some chemicals, like common acids or bases, dilution is the solution to pollution. When they get diluted, all that's left is common ions like chloride ions from HCl or sodium ions from sodium hydroxide, in addition to some protons or hydroxide ions that are neutralized by buffer ions that are present in your sewage system anyway. Bottom line is, they can be flushed with lots of water. For other chemicals, flushing is not a good idea. That probably won't hurt you, but it might hurt the environment. Do put the products into an appropriate waste container, but not just any waste container. Different solvents and reagents have to be disposed of differently, and if you dump some stuff into the wrong container, it could totally end up reacting with the other things that have been dumped in there. Not good. Rule of thumb, always know the right way to dispose of something before you even start to use it. This is an apron. It protects you and your clothes just a bit extra in case you're working with something hazardous like concentrated acids. Aprons are nice because they're easy to get off if you spill something on them. Well, if you're wearing pants, you might hesitate a bit too long before you ditch them. Which reminds me, if you spill more than just a bit of anything super bad on your pants, modesty goes out the window. Just take them off. Also, while you're taking them off, you might want to run over to this guy here. His job is to dump a gigantic amount of water on you really fast. Now, usually, you don't get to see these things in action unless there's an actual emergency, but to thank you for sticking with us through this somewhat disjointed lecture on safety in the lab, I'm going to take this off. That's a lot of water! Thank you for watching this episode of Crash Course Chemistry. If you were listening, you learned what to wear in the lab, how to dispose of chemicals, how to avoid the most common accident in the laboratory, how to pour properly, what the hazmat diamond is, what an MSDS is, and how to use a fume hood. This episode was written by me. Our editor is Blake DiPastino. Our chemistry consultant is Dr. Heiko Langner, who's sitting right there laughing at me. This episode was filmed at the Environmental Biogeochemistry Lab at the University of Montana, so thank you to them. It was filmed, edited, and directed by Nicholas Jenkins. Our script supervisor was Dr. Heiko Langner. Our sound designer is Michael Aranda, and our graphics team is Thought Cafe.
Okay, so yeah, he's not kidding about the glass rod. I still have a scar from when I was in grade 5, and the exact same thing happened to me. So I don't think we're going to be using glass rods and rubber stoppers, but you may in the future. You definitely want to avoid that. Let's see, something else I wanted to show you was it's hard to find anything. Anyway, what I'll go to, I have a link to some specifically home laboratory rules that were developed because of the COVID outbreak, and I thought I had them right on my desktop. They appeared to have disappeared. What I will do is I will post a link to them on the Canvas page and let you know where they are. For now, let's have a look at.
Professor,
yeah.
you posting that in the announcements or where on Canvas should we look for that?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
So here are the assignments. So the assignments to do, we have, where the hell are we? Yeah, so there's the lab kit pickup. Obviously, you just got to submit that. There's a lab kit agreement, the safety quiz, which is, you have to submit that before the end of the month, along with the signed safety contract. So I'll sort of show you where those are. I believe that was part of my original.
I think they're just in module 2 for week 2.
Right, so here are the assignments. So yeah, there's the safety quiz due on the 25th. So just, yeah, right under week 2. Yeah, there's the safety quiz. Like I said, you may be able to answer all, you can take it twice, I believe. And so you may be able to answer all the questions now, but if you can't, there's the much longer, half an hour long safety video from the American Chemical Society that John's already posted. There's the signed safety contract and the signed lab kit agreement. And those 3 things are going to be due before the end of next week, okay? So here's the links here.
This week, right? This week.
Yes.
By the end of this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's where you'll find the safety lab manual. That is specifically designed by the company that made the kit. So there's some really good information in there. There's the lab safety contract, which you will sign and then submit to as part of your assignment. And then there's the lab kit agreement with Skyline. And so they look, so here's what the at-home Carolina Lab Safety Manual does. And so it basically gives you, some general outline. It's mainly for biological labs, but also works for chemical safety as well. You can see under part 10 here. So that is about it. So you have any questions about where you need to submit your assignments?
Well, in terms of these assignments that you just mentioned or other assignments?
Oh, any assignments actually. So yeah. If
Oh, yeah, I am. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little overwhelmed of all the different areas and places that we need to do work and submit.
Yeah. There's
but,
John put a lot of tabs and everything in there, but I mean it's because he's really organized.
Yeah. So,
More organized than I am, I must say.
I think I know what to do. Is there just a place on Canvas for
Yeah,
these ones?
just click on assignments. There's right on the left,
Yeah.
right on the left-hand side of the page.
Yeah.
There's just called assignments. Just click on that and it has everything. You can also go week to week. So we just started week 2. So just click on week 2 and there's basically a breakdown of everything.
Okay.
But everything goes back to assignments. If you submit, if you click on the link in week 2, it'll also be the same thing as clicking on the assignments link directly. So all that'll be, needs to be submitted by the end of the week so we can be ready to actually start playing with our lab kits next week. So who's left to pick one up? There's like 2 or 3 people, and that was it?
Professor, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just a little I know you guys know what you're doing, but I'm a little confused because you know, we had a whole week already and a whole chapter that we've read and that we've done a homework on and that I thought we were going to do the pre-lab quiz on. And I thought that we were doing the labs, so like I printed the labs out, and so I'm just wondering, because now, like today, reading a brand new chapter, we're done with chapter 1, so I just find it a little confusing, I guess, that now we're not going to do the lab for chapter 1 until next Monday.
Next
and
week.
We're going to be
because not everyone's picked up the kit yet. We still have 2 days to pick up the lab kit. So that was the idea, is to get everyone as long as possible to pick it, so everyone had one.
So our material though that we're studying this week is chapter 2, right?
I believe so.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, because it is overwhelming. Just everything. It's a lot. So
no, believe me. Yeah, there's a lot to keep up on, and that's really important for this distance learning in particular, because it's really easy to get lost. It's really easy because you're not seeing anybody, you're not in direct contact with anybody, so it's really easy just to put things off. And so it's more important than ever to keep up and try and maintain some sense of community, even if it is only through a camera. So does anybody else have any questions about what's due for the end of this week and then what we're doing next week? So next week we'll actually start playing. It's going to be fun. So there'll be a pre-lab for you to submit before that, and then you'll have to I'll grade it, and if you pass you can do the lab, which I'm sure you'll pass.
So I'm sorry, so the pre-lab, is that the pre-lab quiz that you're talking about?
Yeah.
And what we're doing that on Chem 101. And so it said the instructions say to log in a few minutes early to Zoom and to log into Chem 101 and be prepared to take that quiz. Is that how it works?
I think so.
All right, good.
Yeah.
And so the quiz is going to be on chapter 2 next week, not on chapter 1?
It'll be on what's going on in the lab. So I'm sure it'll be on measurements, certainty and measurements.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you much.
No problem. So anybody else want to have any questions for? It's going to be a quick evening this evening. I will post those the lab instructions for safety considerations for home labs, because I think it's a really good idea. And like I was saying originally, you're not going to be able to have a eye shower or that sort of thing in your house. You should have a fire extinguisher nearby, which would be helpful, or something. Just even like a big thing of water nearby. But all that other stuff is sort of specific for working in the lab. I'll post some sort of different rules to consider when you're working at home. So yeah, find a place. What's going to be tricky is finding a place where there's not, kids or dogs. I know in my house, it's going to be tricky to find a place without dogs. So some place that's like quiet, where there's no food nearby, and someplace flat, relatively well ventilated and well lighted, where you can work. Does everybody have a place like that they found already?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. Well, you have a while. You have a while to find a spot. Okay. All right. So if there are no other questions, I will see you soon. Remember, my office hours are on Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday at 11. If there are any, and send me an email. My email. I answer my emails, as you probably. If anyone sent me an email, I get back to you pretty quickly. And if you do need to talk face to face outside of office hours, just drop me a line, and I will send you a Zoom link, and we can just talk one-on-one. Okay.
Are your office hours, are those just drop in, or do we have to schedule ahead of time?
You don't have to schedule. No, I'll just be there starting at 11, just chilling out, waiting for someone to come and say hi. Okay. All right, everyone.
Someone just asked if their bedroom will work for doing the lab.
Sure, if you have a table in there. I don't know if you want to do it on your bed, because you want to have a nice flat, like maybe if you had like a board you could put on top of your bed, that would probably work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
In fact, that worked pretty well, actually. I'm in my wife's office, so I'm thinking I'm gonna be doing it in here as well, because it's pretty good lighting. There's a window nearby, and I can bring a fire extinguisher from upstairs in case I need it. Okay, that's it. I will talk to you soon. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm sure it is a little overwhelming at first. Everyone's a little freaked out at the beginning of the term, but you sort of get into a groove, hopefully, after a while. So ask lots of questions. I demand that of you, and hopefully I'll be able to. Myself and John and the other teacher will help you out as much as we can. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next week, if not sooner. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.